The smartest sports YouTuber, back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why Tyson Fury is obviously better than Anthony Joshua, and that is a fact. If you disagree, you're a biased AJ fanboy, and that is a fact. You know why? Let's look at their resumes. People want to bring up, oh, look at their resumes. Oh, Anthony Joshua's resume is so much better. He beat the great Dillian White, the great Joseph Parker, Carlos Takam. He beat the great ones. Those dudes are mid-level fighters. They are good, not great. Let's look at Anthony Joshua's great wins. His best win was against a older version of Klitschko that wasn't a champion that Tyson Fury already beat. That is a fact. 41-year-old Klitschko, and that's his best win. Tyson Fury's best win, you could make a case, it's Klitschko, who is on a 10-year undefeated run. He was a couple fights away from breaking the title defense record ever set. That is a fact. He did it in Germany. He did it in Germany, in Klitschko's house. That is a fact. So all you fanboys want to talk about, Anthony Joshua's resume, his resume. Anthony Joshua got beat the fuck up by Andy Ruiz, and you guys started to overhype the fuck out of Andy Ruiz, and that is a fact. You are treating Andy Ruiz like he was a top 3 heavyweight after he beat Anthony Joshua, just because you want Anthony Joshua's loss to look a little less worse than it was. Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. He's not great. He's not really good. He's a good fighter. Anthony Joshua got the fuck beat out of him. He got the shit beat out of him. And we're not going to mention all the hate that Deontay Wilder gets from AJ fanboys. Yes, some Deontay Wilder fans are delusional. Do I think Tyson Fury cheated? No. Do I believe all the conspiracies? No. But I'm never a type of person to say, Deontay Wilder's a bum. He didn't fight anyone. He's a bum. Even though he knocked out Luis Ortiz twice. And if we're being honest, Luis Ortiz and Dillian White, that's a really good fight because they're close. Okay, you can say Luis Ortiz is a bum, but they're close. You can say Luis Ortiz is an old man. Dillian White got knocked out by an old Povetkin. Knocked out cold. That is a fact. And if Deontay Wilder is so much of a bum, why did Anthony Joshua penny pinch him and not fight him a few years ago? I'm not talking about when after Deontay Wilder fought Fury, because Deontay Wilder admitted, I turned down more money from Anthony Joshua. But that was after the first Fury fight. That was when Deontay Wilder said there was unfinished business. So you can't count that. Before the Fury fight, I'm talking about when it was just AJ and Wilder at the top of the list. It was AJ and Wilder. That was the super fight people wanted. Before Tyson Fury came into the picture, Anthony Joshua could not get it done. He was trying to penny pinch Wilder like Wilder wasn't a reigning champion for years, and he was trying to disrespect Wilder. That is a fact. So what does Wilder do? He goes and he fights Fury. He fights him to a draw, and then what? He loses to Fury. But all the AJ fanboys that are clowning Wilder for a loss, whose loss is better? Losing to Tyson Fury? Mind you, Tyson Fury was active at the time, not his first fight. After the first fight, he got a couple more fights in, and then he fought Wilder, beat his ass, but he was an active Tyson Fury. Who's better, an active Tyson Fury or Andy Ruiz? It's not even close. So AJ fanboys clowning Wilder for losing to Tyson Fury, who's the best heavyweight in the world. What's there to, why is that such a clowning thing? Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, the little fat boy. The little fat dough man. He's a little dough man, okay? That is a fact. He's a top 10 heavyweight. He's not top 5. He's not top 3. He's a fringe top 10 heavyweight. That is a fact. So Anthony Joshua got knocked down 4 or 5 times, and he quit in the corner. Those are all facts. And another point that Anthony Joshua fanboys love to use is the title defenses. Oh, look at the title defenses. Oh, look at Anthony Joshua has title defenses. Tyson Fury's never defended a title. Listen here, idiots. I was going to say something else, but I'll just say idiots. You know that Deontay Wilder has more reigning title defenses than Anthony Joshua, but you discredit that. So if you're going to use one point of view for one fighter, use it for another fighter. Keep the same standards. If it's about title defenses, then Deontay Wilder is better than Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder has 10 title defenses. He tied Muhammad Ali's record for WBC. What are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? You guys make no sense. You don't keep the same energy for every fighter. You know why? Because when it comes to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, it's about title defenses. But you don't mention that when it's about Deontay Wilder. You know why? Because Deontay Wilder has more title defenses than Anthony Joshua, and that is a fact, fanboys. I'm speaking all facts. And Anthony Joshua fanboys, I want to ask you something. How do you think Anthony Joshua is better than Tyson Fury? First of all, Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury just beat Deontay Wilder, who was the second best or first best heavyweight when he fought him. That's another thing. When Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, it was widely accepted that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder were the two top heavyweights going into their fight, and the winner was the best heavyweight in the world. That's how most non-biased people saw it. You had either Deontay Wilder won and Tyson Fury 2, or Tyson Fury won and Deontay Wilder 2. So any way you look at it, Tyson Fury beat the top heavyweight in the world. Deontay Wilder lost to the top heavyweight in the world. Deontay Wilder did not lose to some fringe top 10 heavyweight like Andy Ruiz in a massive upset. He did not do that. He lost to the best heavyweight in the world. So stop shitting on Deontay Wilder like he lost to some bum like Anthony Joshua did. And then you Anthony Joshua fanboys overhyped the fuck out of Andy Ruiz. And what did he do to Chris Arreola? Andy Ruiz was in the best shape of his life and got knocked down by Chris Arreola, who Wilder destroyed in his prime. That is a fact. I'm speaking all facts. And let's look at this. At first, Anthony Joshua wasn't going to fight Usyk, and there was talks about vacating his title. And you know what his fanboy said? Oh, yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have to fight his mandatories if other people don't. I don't have a problem with him dropping the title. Usyk's not even a real threat, so it's not even like he's ducking someone, because Usyk hasn't looked good at heavyweight. And then what happens? The fight with Usyk gets made, and what do the AJ fanboys start doing? Oh, Usyk's one of the best heavyweights in the world. He's one of the best boxers in the world. He's a better boxer than Tyson Fury, if you look at it. Oh, Usyk's a massive threat. You know why they're doing that? Because they just want Anthony Joshua's win to look better. I have no doubt in my mind. I'm putting a lot of money on Anthony Joshua to beat Usyk. So I have no doubt that Anthony Joshua is going to beat the shit out of Usyk, because Usyk has not looked good at heavyweight. Usyk is not a good he's not a good heavyweight. He's not a top heavyweight. So stop with that narrative. You keep trying to make that narrative up. And I would just ask you a question. What win for Anthony Joshua is better than Tyson Fury's second best win against Deontay Wilder? You cannot tell me a 41-year-old Klitschko who wasn't a champion at the time was better than a Deontay Wilder in his prime, reigning 10 title defenses. You cannot tell me that if you're using the same standards you use in other arguments. I'm speaking all facts, and you know it. And if Tyson Fury ever fought Anthony Joshua, he would beat the shit out of him. And this is what I'll leave it off as. I like to look at fighters, how they will be viewed in history. And these are the facts. No one's going to remember Anthony Joshua being a Carlos Takam, Dillian White. Dillian White's not he's not going to be remembered like that. You know who are the 4 fighters recently that are going to be remembered? Vladimir Klitschko, who Tyson Fury beat as a reigning champion, 10 years undefeated, almost broke the record for most title defenses ever. He beat that dude on top. Then he beat Deontay Wilder, who will be remembered, who's one of, if not the hardest punchers in boxing history. 10 reigning title defenses, undefeated, knocked out everyone he faced besides Tyson Fury. He beat him when he was at his best. And then there's one dude left that Tyson Fury has not fought yet. But if he beats Anthony Joshua, there is no doubt Tyson Fury goes down as an all-time great, because he beat the very best of his era. Anthony Joshua has one win over a 41-year-old non-champion Klitschko. He did not fight Deontay Wilder. He has not fought Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury has beaten 2 out of the 3 all-time, the very best of his generation fighters. He has one more left than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has only beaten 1, and he was not even at his best. Klitschko wasn't. So you guys need to stop that. I laid down all the facts. I would like to hear the response. I would like to hear some apologies from AJ fanboys. Those are the facts, okay? Now you just listen to the smartest sports YouTuber on the planet. That's a fact, and I'm out.